Now here, as you can see, I'm actually still working on the firewall yet with the floor plan piece. A lot of details have been being put into this. Now that white strip is white evergreen, which was purchased through HobbyLinkOnline.com. Good place, I might add. Good service too. Here you can see all the details that has been into building these pieces. Here is the rear wheel wells, both halves. This would be the driver's side, right here. A lot of the proximity has gone into scalping these pieces out with the plastic involved, plus some glazing bond as well included in there. Again, I used the yellow sign scrap for making up these pieces right here. If you look at the one wheel, you can see the black piece. That would be a piece of the sign piece, but black ink with the years. Now right here you can see where I actually have to take and also apply another layer of sign, which is actually a white sign, for an extra little hairline thickness to actually make it work right on the build here. Now, if you're wondering what that yellow, blue line is, excuse me, that is actually would be the outline for like what the real part has. So that when they stamp them at the factory back in the day, that's the blue line is there for, because a lot of that white stuff is actually going to be removed. The excess materials that ain't going to be on there. Here you can see how it actually looks. Both have been actually applied together, but they're not together yet. They're being in there for a mock-up. Now, that's the yellow piece inside. That's going to be taken care of as well. Whereas right now, what I'm doing right now, as you can see right here, with the gaps, and also with the glazing bond though, is I'm actually still taking care of the rough spots yet. Here is the wheel in place. This is a mock-up. Yeah, I know there's a lot of gaps right there taking place. But, all those gaps will be dealt with as I'm building this piece right here. A lot of mock-up is being done to ensure accuracy and also nice quality and craftsmanship of the build here. Here you can see where I laid the pieces back on another piece because there were hairlines again that I need to fill. Now here is that piece of a dash in the making. This was actually taken at an early stage of the build process here. The old dash that is actually in the kit is actually NASCAR, which we're not going NASCAR. Like I said before, we're going a street version of the Charger. So therefore the dash cannot work in it from the kit. Now back to the wheel out here. As you can see here, the shape and angles that I've been working on and that I've been dealing with. Now I'll put this here. There's two different size signs. One is about 1 millimeter thick, and the other one I'm gonna say is 0.7. I think it is. This one is white dog signs. Now here you can see the blue marking. That is, like I said before, is where it's gonna be trimmed down. And after I trim that, I'm gonna sand down, easy, work it up, and work it into the shape that it needs. Now, speaking of the interior and wheel well housing, now we all know that the wheel well connects to the interior skeleton of this car. Now here I'm actually designing and I'm actually working on straight stock interior panels for the build here. And this here was actually fun because when you do this, you gotta get the door jambs, you gotta get the front A pillar, and you gotta get the other pillar area, the door jamb, and the rear lined up right, and upright is here. From an exterior to the interior is two different things, because exterior is back about 2 inches more, and interior is forward 2 inches more of the door gap. There's an overlay right there, overlap. As you can see right here, I'm looking at the interior piece, trying to get the door inner piece to line up with the inner piece while I get the door outer piece lined up as well. Now, the red marking you see right there is actually of the door panel itself. Now, I took a measurement off the other piece because the kit interior is somewhat accurate and yet somewhat not. What I mean by that, the interior for the kit that comes in the kit is actually like a custom interior. This is going to be a street Charger, and it needs to have factory interior designs, not the street version custom ones. I'm not complaining about because, again, a good kit to work with if you want to build NASCARs. But this here build here is actually for a street version, so a lot of this stuff is being scratch built and made. Now here you can see looking down at the interior pieces, and right here, the markings is actually for the markings of the panel piece. That way you wrap it back in, I know exactly where it lined up at. Now for the yellow spots here, the yellow spots here is actually for another piece coming up here that you're going to be seeing here. Again, all the markings is all pinpoint areas for the pieces to go in place. Now I use super glue, Loctite. I'm going to repeat that again. Loctite super glue which is available online and also available in all hardware stores should be, and also all Walmart stores should carry as well. But right here I use Loctite, alongside approximately to actually get the areas filled in. Now here, if you want to do it, I'm actually making a glass insert edge, like what the real cars has. Now, the NASCAR kit has none of this. It's all glass. When you put the glass in, you don't see nothing. The only thing you see is glass in those areas. There's no trim included with the NASCAR kit of the company that made the 1/16 scale General kit. Again, I'm not knocking the kit by no means. It's a good kit. It's very nice and accurate detail for a NASCAR and race car kit if you're going that way. But if you're going to go straight in stock car, it won't really work. But right here you can see where I'm actually doing the window edge, rear glass edge, for the window seal set, for the window set in place, which accolade will be used on this build at a later date and time here. Because right now I want to get this accurate before I do anything, because there's a lot of contours on this area, and plus I gotta make the window trim to go on top of it as well. Everything, almost 90% of the kit is being scratch built, which is actually kind of fun. Now here you can see it's actually in primer for the first time in a long time, again. And I'm seeing how all imperfection I gotta take care of yet, like that lower dustbin panel right there, you can see there's a big scalp right there. When you're doing Bondo work and when you're doing like epoxy, you can't see it when you're looking at white areas all the time, because it blends in. So the best time to do is every now and then, primer it and look at it, and then easy work from there again. And here you can see I do got a couple areas to deal with yet. That's what's been taking this build so long. Because a lot of retooling gotta be done, a lot of correctness gotta be done. Now here comes the interior pieces now. Now on this piece right here, if you look at the bottom piece, you'll see that there's a high lip on the middle door of the Dodge Charger of the second generation, 68 through 70. Now if you take the interior pieces off the doors, you'll see that there's actually a metal lip of the door pushed out. Now the vinyl sets in between that to the top piece. Now the thing is, at the time of this building of this build, 3D wasn't really in yet, and which I'm still working on that yet myself, which I think is a good step in the future. But right here, this is old school, and I actually am using glazing pot putty and also carb bondo for some scalping of the things. Now the thing is, when you use glazing putty, you gotta remember the stuff does shrink at times, and you gotta keep that in mind. Now here you can see I'm actually making the inner lip for the actually sets on the door piece on the inside of the car. It actually rides up against the door ledge, excuse me. Here you can see I'm starting to shape out the pads, for the upper door pads. Yes, it's going to be one piece at this time. Because right now we're still working on these pieces yet. Now the thing is, to get that back piece, like on the back, like what the real Charger has, it goes upwards a little bit, which mounts into the skeleton frame of the interior piece of the Chargers. Now, here I'm actually making the angles and indents like what the real panels have and the real pads have. A lot of fun going into this. Now here I had to put a little primer on it so I can see, and what you see the masking tape is actually there to cover up something I don't want to get paint on. And I'm actually also imagining that being the interior panel as well, so that I can see how it's going to look. And actually mark a couple things out, plus use it as a template too on certain areas. Now here you can see I actually design and actually carve out the indents that the real pads actually have in them. Again, at an early stage yet, I'm actually fine-tuning everything on the details here. But it's actually coming along pretty nice though. So, yeah, some steps step back, straight forward, step backwards. Now here the car is actually starting to get some color to it now, which I think is a very beautiful orange on my ad.